Forgive me for my piss-poor commentary. My voice is still in recovery mode. I don't know how long this is going to last for, but I wanted to make videos on each of my 3 favorite teams today and talk about how the draft lottery system changes their whole dynamic and how the fan base is responding to the news. Yesterday, we got our big update as to how the NHL Draft Lottery is going to go, along with the playoffs, along with the play-in round. Everything was revealed. And the Detroit Red Wings are... Gosh, I don't want to say it, but... Man, they got screwed! They got screwed! The Detroit Red Wings are in a position where, first off, we don't know when Red Wings hockey is coming back. There are rumors saying that the NHL's 2020-2021 season is going to start up in January of 2021, meaning that some teams at the bottom of the league may not get any hockey for upwards of 10 months, and the draft lottery, which many people were predicting, okay, maybe there's going to be a lottery done for first overall and that's it, meaning that Detroit would be locked in at either first or second overall. Maybe there's going to be a lottery where the odds aren't super tainted to where Detroit can actually get a really good pick. But now, with the draft lottery system in place that we have, it looks like the Red Wings are going to have the exact same odds at Lafrenière at the real draft lottery than they would have if the normal NHL season continued and if it wasn't paused up and we weren't in quarantine. The way it goes is the Red Wings, along with the 6 other draft picks that are out of the playoffs, the picks for San Jose, Ottawa, Anaheim, LA, New Jersey, and Buffalo, these are going to be in the 3 lotteries done for first, second, and third overall. Add to that 8 unnamed random picks that will be assigned to play-in round losers later on. These teams are also going to be involved in the draft lottery for first, second, and third overall. Meaning that, we already talked about this in the video yesterday, but assuming any of these play-in round losers win the lotteries, it could give an opportunity for these legitimately good playoff teams to actually win these really high picks. This is a system that gives teams like the Chicago Blackhawks, the Pittsburgh Penguins, and the Toronto Maple Leafs a legitimate opportunity to win these draft lotteries. And for Detroit, you're now dropping down to what was your original draft lottery odds, where many people were saying was somewhat unfair. 18% at winning first overall. Okay, what does that mean? It means that you have an 82% chance that you don't get first overall. We went from 50% odds, which many people thought was actually going to happen if the NHL Draft Lottery was limited to only 1 lottery. But now we have a full-on 3 lottery system going on with the potential of even more lotteries depending on if these play-in loser picks win those first 3 lotteries. Oh man, it's a lot of lotteries. And if I was a Detroit full-time fan, if I was only a Detroit fan, which I'm not because I like other teams too, I would be pissed. And I'm not pissed mostly just because the Red Wings are getting their original draft lottery odds back. That's something that I can honestly kind of deal with, especially with the draft lottery being the way it is, because this is how it's been the past few years. But the way the system has changed to the point where legitimately good playoff teams, and when I say playoff teams, I mean playoff worthy teams, teams that can play in the playoffs and would be good in the playoffs, they have the opportunities to actually come in and swoop that first or second overall pick, depending on if they lose a best 3 out of 5 series. You can't tell me that the play-in rounds are going to be won by the teams that should win. There will be an upset or two in these play-in rounds. Either a team that was supposed to be really good gets swept, or a team that nobody thought would win their series ends up winning. And the possibilities of having these good teams actually swipe out that first, second, or third overall spot is kind of frustrating, because under a normal draft lottery circumstance, this wouldn't happen. The normal draft lottery circumstance would involve 15 teams, not potentially 23. Sure, the draft lottery is only being done with 7 non-playoff teams and 8 play-in losers for 15 in total, but the opportunity for any one of the play-in teams to be those losers ups the ante to make it so that 23 viable teams are actually there contending for first overall. Depends on who wins, who loses. I know that's not exactly how it works, but it's virtually how it works. If any of the teams lose the play-in series, they have a chance at getting that number 1 draft pick if that number 1 draft pick for a play-in loser gets selected as the first overall pick. Which means the Red Wings have a legit chance at going down to 4th overall. Are you kidding me, man? Just taking a look at the draft lottery odds here on Tankathon, the Red Wings have a 50% chance at a top 3 pick. Which means, in layman's terms, it's more likely that Detroit drops to 4 than stays in the top 3. Dude, are you serious? The Red Wings just had one of the worst seasons the NHL has seen in years, and their reward here is a 50.5% chance at a top 3 pick. Okay, I get it. That's how the draft lottery is. And it's been like that for a while, I get it, but like, at the same time, with the potential of teams like Toronto winning first overall up in the air, with the potential of teams like Edmonton or Nashville winning first overall up in there, it really makes me frustrated for Detroit Red Wings fans. And don't get me wrong, this system is not going to be something that I complain about the entire time, because the next video I'm going to make about the Montreal Canadiens, spoiler alert, it's a really good thing for the Montreal Canadiens, but for the Red Wings, in a season where you were so poor, many people would be the first to point out that Detroit was willingly losing games, which I honestly disagree with, because Detroit was just that bad. Something's gotta give, man. Like, I just hope that once the draft lottery rolls around on June 26th, a month from now, that Detroit ends up winning first, second, or third. If not first, hey, they have an 18.5% chance at winning first, which means that they have a very good chance of not winning first, but they have the highest percent chance of winning first amongst every other team. It's just, how ridiculous would it be if, let's say, the draft lottery goes on and then first overall is a play-in round, second overall it's Ottawa, and then you have another pick of a play-in round for third. Imagine how that would look. Because I could kind of deal with any of the other 7 eliminated teams getting ahead of Detroit. Okay, it's a lottery, whatever. But the play-in round picks, man. The idea of incorporating the losers of the play-in rounds, because the play-in rounds have legitimately good teams. To me, the inner Red Wings fan is just so frustrated. Now, the inner Canucks fan, the inner Habs fan in me, I'm not frustrated. I'm really not frustrated at all. In fact, I'm welcoming this chaos. But for Detroit, I feel really bad. So now we have to take a look at all the possibilities. It's not just Alexis Lafrenière that's on the table anymore. You have a Quinton Byfield who could drop down to 4 based off of what crazy things some people are saying online. You have Tim Stützle, who many people are saying could be a top 2, potentially top 1 pick. Who knows if he drops down to 3 or 4. You have Lucas Raymond, Marco Rossi, Jamie Drysdale, Yaroslav Askarov. So many other options here. But the bottom line is the original idea of what we had all the way back in like February when the Detroit Red Wings clinched last place in the league. That's the most accurate standing of what we have here today. The Red Wings are guaranteed a top 4 pick. It's just that the teams that could overtake Detroit involve the other 7 teams who were eliminated from the playoffs earlier on, but they also involve the potential loser teams of the play-in series. That includes teams like the Maple Leafs, the Blue Jackets, the Penguins, the Habs, the Islanders, the Panthers, the Hurricanes, the Rangers, the Flames, the Jets, the Oilers, the Blackhawks, the Canucks, the Wild, the Predators, and the Coyotes. If a play-in team wins any of the top 3 picks, all of these 8 teams, whichever ones are the losers, will have an equal share of odds to get that play-in loser pick, which is crazy to me. It screws over Detroit, but as a fan of other teams, it also makes me very, very happy. We'll talk about that in the video later in the day. But for now, Red Wings fans, comment down below your anger, your frustrations on how the Red Wings got screwed this draft lottery, and if maybe I'm overreacting a little bit. Are you okay with this? Are you not? Let me know in the comment section below and I'll read those later. I hope you enjoyed this video. Socialize Troll 99 and bye.